Hey guys, Carl from Purple Moose Plays here. In my last video I did a playthrough and review of Tiny Towns, and if you watched the video you'll know I really enjoyed the game. But if I had anything at all to complain about, my small complaint is that the insert, despite being really good for the cards and the player boards, just has these big empty troughs for the resources and the building pieces. So you really need to put them in baggies or some other container for any kind of organization. Well, enter the Shipshape Gamer with another one of these great organizers, this time extremely functional. Let's take a look. Alright, so here we've got the game as is. Let's take a look inside and see what we see. So under the rulebook, obviously, is the insert that comes with the game. Now, as I mentioned before, the cards have some nice spaces right here. This is the scoreboard and all of the player boards. And the cards fit really nicely into this recessed area with plenty of room for more cards that come in expansions. But all of the other components, you'll see, just go into these big empty troughs in the insert, and you really need to put everything in bags to keep some organization in your box. What that means is every time you set up for the game, you're going to have to open each of these individual bags, or mix them all together in one bag, and then you've just got everything mixed up. Let's see what the Shipshape Gamer offers. So here's what the game looks like with the Shipshape Gamer insert inside. You'll see all of the boxes, all of the organizer pieces fit inside this one big trough. And you're left with this big space here that should be able to hold all the coins from the first expansion, and all the villager meeples that are going to be coming in the second expansion should have plenty of space to fit inside here as well. And I'm wondering to see actually if the Shipshape Gamer will do 2 more small boxes for those that fit in there. So let's take a look and see what we've got. I'm going to pull these out. There's 4 trays. You'll see here there's cutouts for each of the buildings, so you know exactly which goes inside which tray. Again, all of the buildings have cutouts. Everything is divided so you can see which buildings go in where. Alright, here we got the farms and the chapels. And this one doesn't have anything on the side, but you'll see each section is labeled exactly what goes inside here. The wells actually go in here with the resources just to save some space. And you'll see, I'll take out the wells for now, and you can see underneath the pieces also the name. It's not really focusing well in there, but you can see the name of each component is also printed at the bottom of each section. So these boxes are really nice. If I was going to complain about anything at all, it's that the sections are a tiny bit small, so the resources and buildings really sort of just barely fit inside the box. That's not really a problem, but it does mean when you're putting things away, you have to be a little bit careful of how things go back. And it also does mean when you're taking out resources during the game. See, I took that out fairly easily, but it might be a little bit tricky sometimes to pull out a resource, especially when you get down to the bottom level of pieces. But otherwise, I'm really happy with what these do for the game. The setup is going to be amazingly fast. All I need to do is take these out, pull off the lid, and I'm set for the game. I don't have to open all the different bags, and I can also just pass these around the table to give pieces to any player who needs them while we're playing. So it's really convenient to have these boxes. Again, these lids are really nice. They lock right in. Nothing's going to come out of the box. They're not going to open in the box. They're very well designed. Alright, so in the last video for Wingspan, the Wingspan organizer and insert that I showed you, I got the birch material. I'm going to put this down for a minute, see if we can get this to focus in closely. This is birch. You can see the nice wood grain in there. It's a little bit scratchy because it's just plywood that's untreated or unfinished, but it looks nice. It's got a nice wood smell to it. I decided when I bought this insert for Tiny Towns, I wanted to try their other material. The Shipshape Gamer offers both birch plywood and what they call draft board as a choice for their inserts. It's not focusing. So this is the draft board. It's basically what you'd call MDF. If you've ever built IKEA furniture, I'm sure you've seen something like this before. But this is the MDF. It's kind of like a really heavy-duty cardboard or sort of paper building material. But it's very clean. I don't know if you can see that. The edges are very nice and clean. And what you might see on the birch, I don't see it so badly on this box. But what you might see on some of the birch boxes is that you can get a little bit of burn from the laser on the edges. And the edges are obviously not as sharp because these are layered plywoods. But on the draft board pieces, you can see, come on, focus. On the draft board pieces, you can see the edges are really clean, really sharp. There's no burn, there's no anything else. So I really like that it's clean. I can show you here in the bottom the engraving versus the engraving on this box. I hope you can see the engraving on this box. Come on. The engraving on this box is a little bit, there we go. The engraving on this box is a little bit less crisp because you got to deal with the wood grain when he's drawing pictures on. But for the draft board, everything is nice and clean because you don't have to deal with that grain. It goes right into the surface of the material. So they're both really nice. The cost is the same. So if you prefer that wood look, I'd go with the birch. If you like the crisp, clean look, I might go with the draft board. You can probably stain the birch. I don't think you could stain the draft board, so that might be an issue if you're looking at longevity, about the oils of your fingers staining things or anything like that. You might worry about it, but otherwise, I think I prefer this clean look of the draft board myself. All right, so I'll see you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed this review. And again, I do really recommend this insert. If you've got a copy of Tiny Towns, it will make things a whole lot more efficient and smooth for setup and gameplay. I'll talk to you soon. Carl from Purple Moose. See you next time.